Hey, welcome to Healed and Fulfilled with me, Nettie Exclusive. I wanted to jump on and do my podcast. I know I have been MIA lately, and I am working on another project with my daughter called Po Chop and Rice, and it is on all platforms. So we have did a few episodes. We have more episodes coming, and I hope that you guys will go and take a look. You may love it. My daughter is leaving for college, so we thought that we would do something that we both enjoy and just give our insights on a few topics that we come across on social media or any type of media for that matter of fact. But that's not why I am doing my podcast today. And I kind of just wanted to jump in and just talk about a little bit of what I've been doing in my healing journey because I don't think I really touched on this topic. And I want to be able to help others out there who are constantly struggling as a Black woman. And not just for Black women, for all women. We all struggle with our day to day and our healing and shedding and purging who we were once before. And let me tell you, it has been a journey so far this year for me. I just feel that this year has been a lot of shedding, as well as last year. I've been purging so much. And if a lot of you guys are not familiar with what purging means healing. You no longer recognize who you are and you're confused and you're just shedding everything that you thought you were. And sometimes there's triggers that come with that initiates this purging. And some of us call them growing pains. Sorry, call them growing pains. But nonetheless, I want to get into what I am talking about specifically. So, I went no contact with my mom maybe a year and a half, maybe even 2 years ago, because we just didn't see it eye to eye. And our relationship has always been toxic. And it would take me a whole book or series to really talk about my relationship with my mom. And not only my mom, but just my caregivers who took care of me and also my father. But the first time I seen my mom after 1.5, 2 years was November of 2023. I was not prepared for that to be reunited with her. I would say it was all of my siblings together, and that's just a tradition that we do. We get together on Thanksgiving, and I don't really talk to my siblings a lot either, but that is a lot of more unpacking that I don't want to discuss right now because I'm on a time restraint. But nonetheless, I slowly but surely, start calling my mom again, trying to build that bond, thinking because I went to therapy all 2023 that I would have healed some of my mother wounds. But no, rude awakening. And if you know me, you know that I'm very spiritual. I am a light worker, and I believe that I have a spirit team who watches over me, who guides me. And if that's through repeated songs, if that's through a message I get more than once through different channels, such as People or a commercial or even angel numbers. I am one of those spiritual light worker individuals. But nonetheless, I went through a very, very heavy moment last week. And it started a few weeks ago. And it was the beginning of the end for me. I'm not going to cry. I just want to get this message out there for anyone who can relate. And like I said, it was the beginning of the end for me, but it was a good thing, I would say. It means that I finally figured out the seed that was planted and how it flourished into who I am today. How how I view relationships in my life and how I see myself, including those negative thoughts, emotions, and feelings every time I give people a chance to be in my life. And that is my self worth. Self esteem and self worth are two different things. Yes, I think that I'm fine. Yes, I think I have a nice body. Yes, I think I am smart. That is self esteem. But when I'm talking about self worth, is that seed. My worth has always been based on how my parents loved me and their effort or their lack of effort. And it hit me like a ton of bricks last week. I do not have any self worth. And the reason that I say that is because I invite people in my life, and that's from friendships, that's from relationships, even how I connect with people on a professional level, all how my parents loved me. And that's not a good thing. It's not. And I reflected back and I'm like, you know what? I've been gaslighted all my life on what self worth and what love looks like. And unfortunately, at 40 years old, I do not know what love looks like. I don't want to cry about this. Um, yeah, that's the ton of bricks I was talking about. Having a mom that you don't have a real relationship with, who's unhealed herself, who projects, who never made you feel like anything you did to prove to her your worth was good enough. You always can do more. And that explains a lot of why I go so hard in my career and everything that I do. Because I'm trying to prove to myself that I'm good enough. But it's deeper than that this time of me growing and healing. My parents were not the best parents. I tried to go back and I tried to think about times that my parents, confirmed to me that I was good enough, I was loved, I was doing the right thing, I am a good person. And what keeps coming back to me is my mom saying one day when I was a teenager, or maybe even in my early adulthood, that if I wasn't her daughter, she would not like me as a person. And I think that really set the mold for who I am today. Sorry, guys. So, with that being said, I have handled all my relationships like I'm unlikable. What a bummer, right? But now I see why I end up in shitty ass relationships and with shitty ass friends. Because I didn't know what that looked like for me, what self worth was. The bar was on the floor because of my parents. You know, my dad in disappointments with my dad, he was there, but he really wasn't there. It was kind of like an off and on thing, even though I stayed with the women that raised him. And even though I think my dad is the best of both of my parents, he's no better. And this is something that I have been able to discuss with him. And he said he would do better. And of course, he doesn't. So that leads me to thinking that people are just shitty in general. So being in relationships, romantic relationships, or having friendships, people are shitty But I have grown to accept it because who am I comparing them to? My parents. And that's awful. So last week it hit me like a ton of bricks, and I cried because I'm like, I have no self worth. I have settled and tried to be understanding to people and trying to heal my inner child through them and trying to find answers through people that I have met along the way in my 40 years. And that's from friendships and that is from relationships. And they have all been shitty. They have hurt me. They have taken advantage of me. They have taken me for granted. And I sat there and I took it because that's what I'm used to with my parents. But guess what? That is changing. And it's changing in this moment. It has been changing since that last week. And like I said, I thought self esteem and self worth were the same things. And I had to stop feeding myself the things that I grew up hearing from my parents and how my caretakers, including my grandma and my aunt, how they showed me love and how I'm going to show up for me, and not only me, but my inner child. Um, Being away from my mom for 5 years due to being taken away from her from the state with my grandma when my mom when she came to visit, because at one point she wasn't visiting us at all. She was non-existent. But when she did come and visit us in the beginning of us being taken away from her and being put in custody of my great grandma, who also raised my dad because his mom was unalived in New York when he was a baby. So, yes, there's a lot of generational curses there. But back to what I was stating is when my mom would come to visit, we were not allowed to cry, tell our mom we missed her, or we would get in trouble. So that taught me a long time ago how to suppress my emotions when it comes to people, places, and things, which added to me as an adult and how I deal with relationships and my pain. I learned how to suppress and be detached from my emotions at a very young age. On top of not having self worth, because nobody ever taught me about that. And based off actions of the people that took care of me, supposed to love me, I never got confirmation from that. But now I have confirmation within myself. And I'm at a place where I no longer have friends. I haven't had friends in over a year because of therapy and people not meeting my needs and me learning how to set boundaries and not be a people pleaser. So that's not the issue here. It's more so of the issue in my romantic relationship with my husband. And now it has me thinking, did I fall in love? I can't say that I'm in love because, like I said, I detach very easily when I am when my needs are not being met. And not that I exercise those needs or tell or communicate those needs because I'm just now in the last week learning about my needs. But it has me thinking a lot about the dynamic of my marriage because am I with him because I see something that is familiar that I seen in my parents, or am I with him because he's a safe space? And I can't answer that right now. I don't even know if I'm in a space to be even in a marriage. And I haven't been able to talk to my husband about it. And I'm being transparent here because I am so confused with who I am right now, because not only am I finding out what self-worth is and going through growing pains, I'm also going through the dark night of the soul. And if you don't know what the dark night of the soul is, it's like a period in your life where you're healing and everything that you thought was solid is no longer solid. You're confused on who you are. You're confused on where you stand in life, what you believe in. And I am there because I'm at a point where I'm ready to start over from scratch with a new life. And I have no problem starting over with a new life. Trust me. But I'm at a place of finding out what I like now, because the things that I used to like and the things that I were attracted to and all of the above has significantly changed this year. But I do have a plan, and I'm grateful for that. And I'm happy that I found that seed that was planted in me early on about self-worth. Because sometimes I'm too understanding and I don't think about my needs because I never had needs. I didn't have a foundation of what my needs were because I never grew up in an environment that people put their needs first. Seeing my mom get beat by my dad, seeing my dad go in and out of prison, a grandma who was not emotionally there, but she disciplined us when we did things wrong, not having life speaking into you. So it's like I'm learning myself and healing my inner child all at once. And it's a lot. So welcome to my new journey. And I will keep you guys updated on my new steps, my next steps, and how I'm healing my inner child and how I am moving forward with this newfound information and what I'm going to do right. With my kids, I am excellent because it's easy with me to be a parent because I am doing everything that I would have wanted when I was growing up. And my kids are my everything. So it really has this newfound information and this healing has nothing to do with how I parent. It's more of me fixing myself so I can attract the tribe that I deserve and learning how to feel my feelings and learning how not to dissociate or detach when I get hurt and I just cut people off with no explanation, or just understanding that I deserve to be loved. I deserve to have the quality of life I want. Yes, before I thought that I had that, but that's a great part about healing and growing is that you will always have to grow. You will always be healing. Every time that I have healed myself, something else pops up. And I'm grateful because I want to be the best person that I can be in my life. And I want to be able to show up for others. So I'm learning how to love myself completely. And that's with self-worth. And I hope that others who listen to this podcast can resonate or has been able to resonate through their healing process and healing their inner child. And like I said, I will keep you guys updated. And I will see you guys or talk to you guys next episode. Bye-bye.